Hey, what's up everybody? Today I went to a place that we used to go to a lot when I worked during dinner time, that hour, and it's awesome for lunch and dinner if you're looking for some good Vietnamese food. It is called Niu Baguette and it's off of Cooke Street, kind of near, right next door to New Queen Barbecue, which I featured in my breakfast compilation. So check that out. I'll put the link above if you didn't watch that yet. But I got a bunch of things that I enjoy from Niu Baguette, and we're going to start off with an appetizer. It's the infamous summer roll, and if you've never had a Vietnamese summer roll, it's pretty much a paper thin rice wrapper. Everything's kind of fresh with some fresh green veggie, some lettuce and shrimp, and some vermicelli noodles in there. So we'll check that out right now. So this is the Vietnamese summer roll. Like I said, it's got some cooked shrimp in it. It's wrapped in a thin rice paper wrapping. It's not fried or anything, so it's very healthy and fresh. It's got a bit of lettuce in there, and sometimes some people put some bean sprouts in there. I'm not sure. I don't remember if they did. All I know is it's good, and some vermicelli rice noodles in here. And they give you this peanut sauce that you dip it in. So we'll take a taste of that. Super good. And yep, there's some bean sprouts in there, and the peanut sauce goes so well with it. It's not spicy at all. It's got some chopped green onion in there and some other savory flavorings. And there's all kind of textures going on. You got the sticky rice paper, the crunch from the bean sprouts and the raw lettuce. And you got the chewy noodles in the middle and the nice meaty shrimp. Very healthy, not oily at all. Very fresh and nice and refreshing on a summer day, a hot day, because it's not fried or greasy or anything. And the peanut sauce kind of rounds it off with that nice creaminess. It's not like chunky peanut butter or anything. It's like a smooth peanut sauce, and it goes well with the fresh veggies in there. And if you're allergic to peanuts, you can get all the condiments that she has over there on the main counter. They have it on the tables if you want to dine in, but I like a little spice in my life, so I got some sriracha, and she also has her chili oil in there and some vinegar and other condiments if you like different flavors. This is not traditional, but I like to dip it in sriracha as well. Now that's a banger with the sriracha, because the sriracha has that garlic spice flavor. So good. There's also little hints of mint in there, not too much. So sometimes when you take a bite, you get a little bit of mint taste. It's really, really good. I don't know how to explain it if you've never had one, but these are really good to eat. Usually they're cut in smaller pieces to make 4, but over here they make one big roll and you get 2 of them. So it's a nice snack or something to eat on the run, but it's healthy and not greasy. So definitely an option if you're on the go or you're working and you need to pick up a quick lunch. So for those 2 massive summer rolls, it's usually an appetizer if you're dining in, but can be a great snack as well. It's $6.50. Technically, they're 2 huge rolls compared to other restaurants, so if you cut them in half like the other restaurants do, that's technically 4 rolls. Okay, next up is what they're known for. It's what they're named after, the baguette. So if you are not familiar with Vietnamese cuisine, they were kind of, I don't know what the nice word to say is, but I guess colonized by the French. So they have a lot of French influence in their cooking, and that's why they have baguette sandwiches, and they use French bread. So this is their sandwich. It's pretty big, a nice big French roll. I got their Niu Baguette special, which is both pork and chicken. And like any other Vietnamese sandwich, you got your cilantro and your daikon, pickled daikons. What I like about this place is they give you 2 pieces of jalapenos on the side. I'm a fan of jalapenos, so that's great. You've got slices of pork, which is marinated in their Vietnamese sauce, and it's grilled with a chicken and a little bit of cucumber in there for some crunch as well. The only thing is I wish she cut it in half, but it's going to be hard to eat in here. But let's take a bite out of it. Already the first biting into that cilantro. I love cilantro. I know a lot of people, some people don't like it, but just gives it a brightness and a different dimension to the sandwich. And then you get a little bite of that daikon that's pickled with that crunch of the outside of the French bread and the softness of the inside. So good. And I did get a bunch of meat from the first bite, and it's nice and sweet. If you've never had Vietnamese grilled meats like their pork chops or their barbecue chicken, it's got a nice sweet lemongrass taste. Really, really good sandwich. Sorry, trying to get close to the table in here because I don't want crumbs in my car, but very flaky bread. Really good. One of the better ones. You need a nice balance because sometimes you get some of the French bread where it like hits the roof of your mouth and it just murders your mouth and cuts it all up, and it's so hard. This one's still kind of crunchy on the outside, but not too crunchy where it's like hurting your mouth, but it's so soft inside. That's when you know you have a perfect Vietnamese sandwich. This banh mi has the grilled chicken, but it also has the Vietnamese style ham in here. So that's the pork. It's got a different look from American sandwich meat, but it's also delicious. This one's not as traditional as other banh mi's because usually sometimes they put pate in there, which is another French influence. But this one doesn't have pate. If you don't like pate, then you're safe. But overall, a very tasty sandwich. All the juices from the chicken and the ham soaked into the inside of the bun. Super delicious and refreshing with the daikon and the cucumber. Can't go wrong. So if you're looking for a great sandwich that's different from Subway, definitely check out the banh mi's at Niu Baguette. These are great sandwiches. Jalapenos are great with it too. If you have fresh jalapenos at your store, you're pretty much my friend. I love jalapenos. I already took a couple bites, obviously, but look how big the sandwich is. So it's pretty much like a foot long. It's huge, and they put a lot of meat and veggie in here, so it's great. And for those who are vegetarian and don't eat meat, they also have tofu in their sandwiches if you want. So they do have other options to put in the sandwiches if you still want to try a banh mi and you don't eat meat. For the Niu Baguette special banh mi with the pork and chicken, it's $9.99. So a great deal on a sandwich that you can probably cut in half and probably eat one for lunch and save one for later. It's pretty huge to me. It's pretty long, so definitely you can cut it in half and have 2 meals with it. So I think that's a deal for $9.99. So the last thing I got was one of my favorite things from Niu Baguette. I think they make it pretty awesome compared to other places, is the vermicelli rice noodles. This is like one of my favorite dishes in Vietnamese cuisine, other than the typical pho that everybody eats. And sometimes, you know, I love pho, but it's really hot here in Hawaii, and sometimes you just don't want to eat something hot. This is a dish that's refreshing in summer or just a hot day. It's typically almost like I don't want to totally compare it to that, but if you don't know what it is, it's like a somen salad, a cold salad with noodles. And you've got these beautiful greens with the pickled daikon again. What I like about this place is other places sometimes don't do this. They give you a lot of fresh basil that you can mix in, and the toppings are usually meat. You can get spring rolls as well and add that on, but I didn't want that today. So I got their lemongrass chicken. I think they make a really good lemongrass chicken. But again, if you don't eat meat, they do tofu. The only thing is, if you're totally vegetarian or vegan, the sauce that comes with it is the kind of like the dressing that you toss the noodles and the veggies with, does have fish sauce in it. So I don't know if you can ask them to make something that's strictly vegan. They might omit the fish sauce for you. But if you're curious about what the sauce tastes like, it's just a very light fish sauce with kind of like a vinegar and sweet, sugary taste to it, that kind of dressing. And I think it goes so well with the seasoning of the lemongrass and the veg. So we're gonna toss this up with my chopsticks to incorporate the dressing with the veggies, the noodles, and the chicken. So under the bed of all this meat and veg are these vermicelli noodles. So I tossed all of the sauce with it, and hopefully it got to the bottom, and we'll eat it with our chicken. So good. I love the dressing, and I love how the sauce of the lemongrass chicken also incorporates with the noodles. And I'm a fan of onions, so they've got a little bit of shredded onion with their lemongrass chicken. Gives it a nice crunch. They put a little bit of peanut on it too. So if you're allergic to peanuts, you might want to tell them to take that out. They also have some stir-fried green peppers in there, like bell peppers. And again, some jalapeno, which you don't get in other places when you order vermicelli noodles. Sometimes it's just whatever meat or spring roll you order with lettuce and bean sprouts and the pickled daikon, and that's it. Maybe some cucumber too. But I like Niu Baguette because I think she puts more care into her food and puts a little bit of extra ingredients that make it taste so good, like the basil. It just gives it that extra dimension. You might think it's the weirdest combination, but it really works. It's just like a cold noodle salad. I just tasted some of these peppers, and I just soaked up all that flavor from the lemongrass sauce in the chicken. So I bet you if you just ask her to stir fry some green peppers and onions in that lemongrass sauce and pour it over this, if you don't want to eat meat, that would also be a great substitution with some tofu as well. And yeah, they also do tofu vermicelli, so if you're looking for another healthy option, they've got it as well. So most of the dishes they can do, and they just top it with different toppings that you want to eat. So it's very customizable to people that want certain things or can't have certain ingredients. She'll probably work with you. She's a really nice lady. Let's take some basil with this chicken. Really love Thai basil. So delicious. This is just a really healthy, crunchy, great texture, different textures going on with the noodles. That has the soft texture. You've got the chicken, and you've got your cucumber, bean sprouts. We've got some pickled daikon and pickled carrots. You've got the fresh, crunchy lettuce. Looks like romaine lettuce. It's just like all these things going on in your mouth. So it's just like exciting and stuff. And that's why I like this dish. So this is her chili oil. And I like a spice, like I said, so I'm going to put it in my vermicelli noodles as well. And I guess when you add the spice, which is not typically what you do, but I like the flavors of it, you could think of it as Korean bibimbap, which is the Korean version of their noodles with different ingredients. And you're not usually supposed to put sriracha or chili oil in it, but I like a little bit of spice, and I think it gives it an extra dimension. So if you like spicy things or just a little bit, definitely take advantage of her little condiment section where she gives you those little containers to put in your chili oil or your sriracha, or if you want soy sauce or anything else. And just try adding a little bit to your dish. Even her plate lunches, which have like her rice dishes where she has pork chops and barbecue beef, you can take home some condiments with you and put it on your rice dish as well. And if you're wondering about the chicken, this is why it's my favorite out of all of them. I tried most of them. The lemongrass chicken really does have a good lemongrass taste, and you get that nice lemongrass strong taste in most bites. I mean, it's all chopped up here with the garlic and all the other spices. And so if you're a fan of lemongrass, which I am, it's really delicious. I like the way she grills her chicken as well. It's cooked with some nice char marks on it too. So for the lemongrass vermicelli noodle plate, it is $11.99. I think that's pretty reasonable for all the things you get. Get the noodles, the veg, the salad dressing, and the chicken on top. I'm reading some of the menu I took a picture of. They have vermicelli with just spring rolls. They have grilled pork. You have a grilled pork with a spring roll. You can get shrimp as well. So if you're into seafood, you can get shrimp on top of it instead of chicken or pork. And they also have the regular grilled chicken without lemongrass. So if you're not a fan of lemongrass, they do just regular grilled chicken. And you can also add a spring roll to the chicken dishes, or just the garlic tofu if you're a vegetarian or you're just looking for something healthy and meatless. So they're all around $10.99. That's the cheapest with the spring rolls. And up to, I believe, $13.99 with the pork and shrimp. So not too bad of a deal for, I think they give pretty much a lot of noodles and chicken and all that vegetables. I think they're pretty generous with their quantities. All right, so that's pretty much Niu Baguette off of Cooke Street. When I got there, I went right at opening. They opened at 10 a.m. and there was parking right in front. But sometimes, like I said in the other video about New Queen Barbecue, it can get crowded sometimes. So if it is, there's lots of street parking up front on the next block, which is a very short walk away that has metered stalls on the street. As far as service, she is a sweet lady. She's always been there. I believe it's a family-owned business. She's a little bit of an elderly lady, and she's such a sweetheart and so kind. So definitely support their little establishment. They're definitely getting a lot of support in the Kaka'ako area. A lot of walk-ins from people that live around the area and the high-rises come in and do phone orders. So they're doing pretty well despite the parking issues, because they've been there for, I believe, I've been going there for almost 2.5 years, 3 years. So definitely check them out. I'll see you next time on another food showcase review. If you like this, press the like button and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.